I still managed to forget.
Jack, I reminded you.
Yeah,
in the last recording, Jack.
You know when I remembered that reminder?
Right now.
10 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally forgot, and I was sitting here, and I heard the music, and I'm like,
da 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 da.
And I was like,
oh.
I think I hit my microphone on the way. So
good.
I'm sorry to anybody who had to endure that.
I didn't hear anything, so I think you're good.
Good.
Anyway, welcome to an in memoriam episode of The Cup. Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea. Reality. You can always come to us first to quench your thirst.
I wasn't sure that's where you're going or not. I was ready.
It was actually, so I'm glad you went there. Hi. We're sad today. Anyway, hi. I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. And amongst being sad, I am just drinking water because hydration is incredibly important, even when you're incredibly depressed over reality TV.
And hi, y'all. I am Lana, your resident evil diva. I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea purr. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I am currently not drinking anything. I did not grab anything. I was too sad to go get anything, and so I'm not drinking anything. But if I was going to grab anything to drink, I would probably drink it out of my cup mug. And we love a full panel of cup mugs. And you can be like us and get you your own cup mug at lanagcreations.etsy.com, where we do ship internationally and domestically in the U.S., so there are no excuses. And we don't just have cup mugs, we have cup merch, everything. Go check it out and get your merch, period.
And my name is Jack. I am the college student of the panel. And, I also just know how to spell things on one side only.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll ignore instructions to ever check the other side because I'm pretty sure it's right and Jeff is wrong.
Period.
Purr. And today, we are mourning a big loss, a devastating loss, a catastrophic loss. I'm sad about it. But it was a good episode overall. It's lovely.
It was lovely. But, before we jump into that, I think we should remind the people to subscribe to the channel.
Yes, please.
It will help us with our grief. The more people who subscribe, the happier we will become. So subscribe to the channel. And every time you see us on a different recording from this point on, we'll be happy and cheery because you subscribed. You. Yeah, I'm looking right at you. Who's saying who? Me? Yep, you. We're talking to you. Hit the subscribe button to this channel, and we record and we produce content almost every single day. And we have some good things coming down the horizon. Also, check out our other channel. If you like all things drag related, we got good stuff over there. And our other channel, ESC, if you like Eurovision Song Contest. We got it all for you folks. Check it out.
Purr. So, we start this episode and everyone gets back to camp and we're celebrating the fact that Bruce is gone. This was like, we're cheering. Oh, joyous celebration. Damn.
Fuck that man. Jesus
I
Christ.
guess. Fuck Bruce, and they said that shit apparently. Damn, like
It was. They might as well have had just like a full party at that point.
I know, right? Like, and people were more surprised to find out that when Emily says she was able to convince Bruce to not use his idol, because she convinced him that Julie was playing him. And I don't think this was the smartest thing for Emily to reveal in this moment, because Julie said, "Oh, she's a threat."
Yeah, it just you can see the downfall the whole episode. And it's the worst thing in the world. But yeah, I mean, good on Emily. She made an amazing move.
Yeah. And that was about it. But we also see the Reba 4 reinforcing their alliance. They're like, we're in it together. We're all doing this together. Ain't so much togetherness anymore, but together.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
And then, as if Kendra's words coming true, Austin and Dee talk about how much they would like to sit at the final 2 together, even though it's the final 3. But I was like, oh. I hope they're dating. I hope they're actually dating. I don't think they are, but I hope they are. That would be lovely and cute. And lovely. And cute. But we go to the next day, and Jake is reflecting on his own game and having a moment for himself, and we see very engaged conversation between Jake, Julie, and Katurah. Jake talking about, or Katurah bringing up the topic of him being a lawyer. Obviously, no one knows still that she is also a lawyer. And then we get Katurah's entire backstory. And while I'm not happy that we learned this information, it informs a lot of Katurah, and I am happy to know more about Katurah. But this is where I got real nervous. Because I was like, are they just going to eliminate her as soon as she gets rid of Bruce? As soon as she gets rid of Bruce. But no. We get her entire backstory about being in a religious cult, being claimed as the wife of the leader of the cult at 13, and her and her mom running away from that at 14, and her just having to be reshuffled back into school after not being in school. And knowing all of that information, and now also knowing how accomplished she is in her career, I'm like, Katurah is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Like,
I mean, it's just awesome to see how much that she's not powering through, but like she had to deal with a lot of bullshit.
How much she's accomplished.
Yeah.
It's incredibly admirable and incredibly just I have so much respect for that woman. Like, I really do.
I mean, if you didn't before, you should have. You should now. Because
I definitely did before.
I had all the respect in the world for her before, for just being a civil rights attorney, period, because that is not an easy job to do, and it's not always fulfilling and not always fun. But it's a definitely a passion based job, and the fact that she's doing it. But to hear this story, I literally like had to stop the episode and cry for a minute because I'm like so heartbreaking that somebody had to go through this, and she's not the only person who's gone through this, and some people don't ever get out of this, and I'm like, it tears me apart to hear people use religion as a cult and as a reason to do horrible, deplorable things under the veil of religion when it has nothing to do with that. And that bothers me that she had to go through that and deal with that. And her mother had to literally run away after realizing this wasn't the right choice to make. Because her mom made the choice for them to go into this cult in the beginning and be under this leader who then decides he wants her daughter at 13 to be his wife. And then she's like, oh, absolutely not. I can't do this. This isn't the right move. It was the right move before, but now that it's your child, it's no longer the right move, because I'm like, how many other of those children in that cult whose parents didn't run away? I'm hurting for them as well. My heart is, but I'm so grateful that Couture was able to get out of that situation, able to go into not only just becoming this amazing woman, but able to do it and be successful. Like come out of this. Like some people come out of this and they are never the same, or they can't cope, or they don't have the way that the mechanisms to cope back and get back into society. But she did it in such a way where she was tops in her class, honors, and become this amazing attorney. I'm so like amazed by her. I am in awe of her. My heart breaks that she went through that, but my heart is full that she triumphed through that. So it's just a weird situation. I could not. I was so sad because we were going to record this earlier and I wasn't going to be able to be here. And I was so sad because I really, really want to talk about this moment. And so I was so glad y'all rescheduled. And I was like, oh, great. Now I can do it. My heart is full. My heart is full for her. I love that woman so much.
Yeah.
She's an inspiration.
Definitely. So we get a boat arriving to camp with a note saying that one person is going on a journey. And enough people were interested that they all just said, let's just draw rocks. And of course, who gets the green rock? But
Emily.
Financial analyst Emily Logan.
And she realizes how bad this is too. The moment she draws it, she's like, great, okay, my target is even bigger.
Yeah, literally.
Yep. I mean, she could have said, I kind of don't really want to go. She should have said, I kind of don't really want to go. Honestly.
Y'all want to draw rocks again? Go for it. Like, it should have been very that.
Right. I would have been like, actually, I don't really want to go. Y'all can do it again. I don't want to go.
Yeah. So Emily's on her way to her journey. Mm-hmm. While she's doing that, Julie and Drew have a conversation. And Drew asks Julie whether she'd want to do something with her idol.
Mm-hmm.
And Drew asking this makes Julie very uncomfortable.
What you mean?
She's like,
what you mean?
Like, what are you trying to do here? Because Drew's worried that Julie is going to make a play against Austin with the idol.
Mm-hmm.
So Julie goes to D, and D is now concerned because she knows like if anyone was going to make a move, it would be Drew.
Mm-hmm.
And she knows that Emily is close to Drew. So without getting out one of her Reba 4, she says, maybe we should say that Emily is dangerous.
Yeah.
And when they say that to Drew was like, yeah, but not as dangerous. And so D is now like, interesting. I see you too. Interesting. But then Drew goes to Austin and he's like, I mean, we got to start thinking about the end, man. And Austin's like, yeah, I know. And Drew's like, well, I mean, you know what I mean. And Austin's like, yeah, I know what you mean. Because they say so many words without saying so many words. And I was like,
Yeah.
But Julie and Dee are not stupid. And they feeling the vibes coming from Drew. Now, Dee might be a little clouded because of Austin, but she feels the vibes coming from Drew.
Yeah. Because also, we see Drew approaching Keturah and Jake.
Yeah.
And he asks them both if they see themselves beating Dee or Julie. And so that's when Keturah goes to Austin about Julie, and Austin says, yeah, Julie's a threat. And then Austin and Drew are like, you know what I mean? I know what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
But Austin is like, but I'm so close to Dee. Like, we have to, how can I do this and not ruin my relationship with Dee? I know. Don't vote for her.
Vote for her. Just don't do it.
Throw your vote on anybody else. Because you got 4 people right there voting Julie.
All you need. Throw a vote on Jake and just throw it there. Be like, oh, I thought that was the plan. My bad.
It doesn't get any better the more you say it. It just gets worse.
It really doesn't.
No.
But meanwhile, Emily's on her journey. And she's like, I've done so many wonderful things because I got here and I was confrontational. And now I'm not. And I was like, oh God, this is either setting Emily up to win or this is setting Emily up to go home. Because at this point I was like, okay, either Emily or Keturah is going home this episode, based on the context of what we've learned in this episode. It's like one of them is going home. I'm mad either way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But she gets to the end of her journey, and we find out that her task is the same savvy task that both tribes failed.
Yep.
On day 1.
For
what reason?
They were
Why was this here?
So 4 people have failed. So you do it.
And
alone.
only one of them is still in the game. Could you imagine if Jake got the rock? And then Jake was confronted with this damn puzzle again?
Just like, no, get out.
No,
And,
absolutely not.
Also, I don't know if y'all saw, but the king of puzzles, Carson Garrett, did talk about this puzzle, saying this is literally one of the most difficult puzzles they have ever given on Survivor.
Yep, I saw that.
I was like, why the hell are we giving them this puzzle then? Like,
it can't nobody do it.
Because no one's done it.
Because no one needs resources on day 1 because we're in the new era of Survivor and you have to earn every single goddamn thing you have.
Blah, 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 blah.
But obviously, Emily is incredibly smart here. And she knows that she needs her vote at the next tribal council. And the option is play, if you win, you get an idol.
Mm-hmm. But if you lose your vote.
You lose your vote. And so she plays it safe, which I think is absolutely the right thing to do.
Absolutely. I would have been like, no,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, because otherwise it would have simply been, oh, Emily doesn't have a vote. Bye. That's it. We're done.
Yeah. And when Emily gets back to camp, she's like, yeah, this is exactly what it was. I didn't do it.
And Dee's like, I don't believe. No, Julie was like,
It was D.
Oh, it was D. I don't believe that. She got something. I don't believe that.
I don't doubt her.
I'm like, hey, what's she saying?
And then immediately, as soon as he can, Drew pulls Emily and goes, so Julie's saying your name, but don't worry because we're working on taking out Julie instead. And then Austin and Katurah also affirm that for Emily. And Emily's just like, oh, God. Okay, I get back and immediately, hi, I'm a target now. Great.
You go to another island for 2 hours. 2 hours.
And now
you leave camp for 2 hours, and all of a sudden, every single vote is on you.
And you're like, how the heck did that happen? But yeah.
Yeah. So we go to immunity, and it is the untangle yourself with the rope to give yourself enough rope to then reach your platform, throw sandbags, knock down your puzzle blocks, and then build a small arch. What is the word?
Arch.
Little arch. Mm-hmm. We just saw this arch challenge too on Survivor UK, but they did it like full tribe. It was huge. Mm-hmm. This was a funny challenge.
I mean, because you had to get the word right on both sides. Now, the emphasis is on both sides. Mm-hmm. You had to get the word right on both sides. Now, Jeff said this.
Are you sure?
He said,
Are you sure he said it?
I think he said you should put it on both sides. Like the word has to be right on both sides. And I feel like I heard him say this like 18 times throughout this challenge. But it has to be on both sides.
Both sides?
I mean, you have to have the words line up the right way on both sides.
What?
On both sides. Like, it has to spell the same word on one side that it spells on the other side. Both sides have to spell the same word.
Oh, because I thought the other side could say
Exactly.
Exactly.
A word you naturally think of from Swedish, which means absolute fucking nothing.
I mean, that would be correct if the word on the other side also spelled
Exactly. I love that the word was resourcefulness, and it actually took resourcefulness to realize that it needed to be right on both sides. Like, I kind of live for that, honestly.
Yeah. And the first person to get it is Austin.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, yes, he's got it.
Okay, it comes down to Drew and Austin. Yeah. And Drew cannot get this arch built to save his skinny little butt.
Nope. It just kept falling.
Just kept falling.
And Austin gets it. Kinda.
On one side.
Because you have to get it on what, Lana?
Both sides.
Both sides.
And Jeff is yelling, you got to get it on both sides. You got to get it on both sides.
It has to be correct on both sides.
He literally did everything except say, Austin. On the other side of the puzzle. It does not spell a word.
It spells eosifisinu.
Which, I mean, that's beautiful Survivor brain just on full display.
Couple this, like, you have these two, like, not getting the puzzle in two very different ways, juxtaposed with nobody else being competitive in this challenge at all. And it made for one of the funniest challenge performances I have seen in a very long time. Because it kept being like, Jake would have enough to make it to the platform, but not enough to get his sandbags. And then, like, Julie was a mess. Emily wasn't doing great. Dee did okay. Katora did fine.
Yeah.
That's everybody, I think. I don't know.
It was very much a two-person race.
Oh, yeah.
And Austin...
And both of those two people were idiots in this challenge.
Drew couldn't get the arch up. Austin couldn't figure out why it was wrong, even though from his view it was completely right.
He was literally trying to think of another word. I'm like, oh, baby.
Yeah. It's like, no, you have it.
But not on what, Jack?
Both sides.
Both sides. Both sides.
Because Austin can't get it together on both sides.
Both sides.
Drew, after a bunch of struggle, manages to get the arch perfect and on both sides.
Both sides. And I love after the challenge when Jeff is like, Austin, what happened?
And Austin just looks at the other side and goes, oh, God damn it.
I love it. He was just like, it heated the moment. The adrenaline's going. I'm not listening to what you're saying. And I'm like, at least someone's admitting that they don't listen to Jeff.
Yeah, but
I'll take
not
it.
Listening to Jeff 5 times after he told you the puzzle is wrong, that's bad.
On both sides.
On both sides.
Both sides.
Both sides. Drew is now safe and is getting to the final 6 from both sides.
And he also gets a reward. He gets a barbecue back at camp. I thought this was really cute that he just ended up taking the guys. So the girls had their charcuterie and wine reward last episode, and now the bros have the barbecue. Bro out, bro. Saw it. Bro time.
I still can't believe that cutaway from last week. What the hell was that?
I couldn't tell you.
But also, it was the dumbest, most entertaining thing I've seen in a while.
Oh, I hated it.
Just dudes being dudes.
I mean, I was happy. I will be honest. I was happy to see Austin, Bruce, and Jake shirtless, but that was about it.
And Drew just sitting in the corner like, I have no idea what's going on.
I've never been in this scenario before. How does one bro out, bro? Like, that's what... How does one engage in the broing out, bro? But, yeah, so they get their bro-barbecue.
Get out.
Don't make me use a trapdoor on you, Logan. Please don't. Please don't. I will use a trapdoor.
Oh, don't worry. I'm doing it to myself.
Yes. Because the bro out of it all is insane.
Oh, God.
Good.
It was such...
And let me just say this. Those were the grossest burgers I've ever seen in my entire life.
Right?
Like, those burgers were disgusting. They weren't cooked all the way. I was like...
They cooked them rare.
Super rare. The cow was still mooing on how rare that burger was.
No, you need to give me a medium well.
Hello.
Or medium.
For a burger, it should be at least medium well. Like, you can't give me the raw burger, all that.
Jack, absolutely. How do you take your burger?
Medium rare, like a normal person.
Oh.
If you have it raw, you're asking to get sick. If you have it well, just eat off the floor.
Oh.
That's where I stand with it.
That 2 pink burger where it's just all mush and no, absolutely not.
No,
I need it. I don't need the pink in the middle of the burger for me. Not on a burger. Not all the way. Not a lot.
I like it like medium well on the verge of like there's not really pink, but like it's not leather.
Right.
That's where I like it personally.
Me too.
Condiments? Do we enjoy condiments on our burger?
Yes.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. I like some condiments. I like a good.
I mean,
Jack, what do you like on your burger? Let's talk about burgers.
Good on a burger for me. I will have lettuce, some beautiful cheese. If I can get it, pepper jack or cheddar. American is good, but I can deal without it. And then depending on how I'm feeling, maybe some Dijon mustard, some barbecue, maybe some ketchup, some mayo, depending on how I'm feeling. Some bacon on it, maybe some. It really depends on what I'm offered. But there are only so many ways to screw with a burger, and for me, the way is putting raw tomatoes on it, and I will not have any further opinions on that. And if you believe that I'm wrong, you're wrong.
Oh no, I agree with you on tomatoes. I don't like a raw tomato on my burger. But cooked tomato. Now that's another thing. I have had
cooked tomato. I'll take that.
I have had like a pan-seared tomato on a burger before. It's not bad.
I've had sun-dried tomatoes on a burger. Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful.
I'll put sun-dried tomatoes in the burger.
Ooh, that does sound good.
Like a sun-dried tomato feta burger.
Oh God, you can't just talk about that. Anyway,
I'm starving
burgers.
too, don't worry. Burgers. They did not look good, but
no, they didn't.
Burgers.
But now we get to probably one of the most interesting strategy sessions of the entire season.
Because while the bros are broing out, the ladies are all having a little spa day and they're all just sitting around each other. And I love that Julie and Emily are both acknowledging, oh, she's targeting me, but I'm just going to laugh. Ha 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 ha. I'm gonna casually throw out Jake's name because that's just what we do.
Because it's fun.
Well, maybe we should get Jake out this time. I don't know.
There are 4 of us here. Let's just do it.
This episode was so funny and also devastating and also incredible. This is the perfect episode of Survivor? Maybe. Like, it was a really good episode of Survivor. But yeah, so all the ladies are sitting around. They all know it's a lie.
Yeah.
They all know it's a lie.
To the point that Dee just starts reading the buff. Like, because they have nothing.
When they started reading the buff, I was like, this is television gold. It's been 45 seasons and no one's read the buff. Like,
Imagine if there was some like advantage written on the buff
like
the entire time.
Oh, that needs to be a thing that happens in future seasons. Like, I think that would be so wonderful. But
like, it's a clue to the next another hidden meaning idol.
Absolutely.
Like, what is this? Interesting.
Go to the X in the trees. What?
Whoa.
But yeah, so at the bro out barbecue bro. They talk about whether the target should be Emily or Julie. They say Julie has a better chance of winning challenges. Jake knew that Drew and Austin needed his vote, so he goes along with the idea. Austin doesn't want to tell Dee, but then later confesses to Dee. There's like this whole moment where they're just sitting and they're like, well, what do you think the plan is? I don't know. What do you think the plan is? And then Austin ends up saying, well, there's a strong movement against Julie.
Oh.
And Dee's like, well, I'm not writing Julie's name down. I'm not doing it.
And I don't think most people know at this point that Julie still has one of Austin's idols.
Well, no one else has the Reba 4. Well, the Reba 4 knows that Julie still has it, but nobody else does.
The three outside don't.
No.
None of them do. But Dee was
They
like,
don't even
well, I'm
know
not
Austin
writing.
has two idols.
Yeah, they don't even know that Austin has an idol.
Right.
But yeah, Dee's like, I'm not writing down Julie's name. Even if she's going home, I'm not writing down her name.
Huh?
Interesting. So she realizes she needs to tell Julie to play her idol, but she doesn't want to put herself in danger by telling Julie to play her idol. Because they all know if Julie plays her idol, they know it's Dee that said something, obviously. So Dee tells Julie, you need to act like it's not you, but you're the other option.
Yay.
So Julie has a moment and she goes to Jake and Emily and she's saying, well, if what happens is going to happen, one of you two is going home. And without saying it, says, I have the power to send you home, basically. And I was like, oh, Julie. Julie's playing the game. Julie's playing the game. Oh my God, Julie's playing the game. And she's like, well, you can vote with me. You can vote out Austin. And without them knowing that she has an idol, like there's no like, they don't realize that there is weight behind what she's saying. But she knows that there's weight behind what they're saying. But they don't know that she has some weight behind what she's saying. So Drew finds out that Julie's going around trying to flip the vote on Austin. So Drew goes to Austin and Dee. And Austin's like, well, if Julie plays her idol, I'll play mine too. And then Julie told Dee she'll be voting Austin. And Dee's like, no, you have to vote out Emily. And in this moment, when Julie and Dee are having their like one-on-one conversation, Dee is like, no, Julie, you have to. And Julie's just like,
do I?
Do I really? Do I have to? And I'm like, oh God, Dee, get rid of the liability soon. Like, I love Mama Julie, a single mom who works 2 jobs, who loves her kids and never stops with gentle hands in the heart of a fighter. She's a survivor on Survivor 45. But like, she's becoming a liability to Dee's game. Dee needs to take her out. And Dee tried to, not really, but
she knew it wasn't going to happen. But we get there.
We get there. And we're at Tribal.
Yay.
Not much expense.
I have to say something.
Yes.
And this may be considered a small rant, but not enough for the banner. I was annoyed with that whole sequence of Julie, Dee, Austin, Drew, Julie, Dee, Austin, Drew, Julie, Dee, Austin, Drew. Because,
Emily.
And then Emily. They're her in there for sure.
And Couture and Jake were present.
They
heard about
on
it.
the island. They were on the island.
They were there.
It was here's my problem with this whole situation because everybody was so much like big bad talking like I'm good. Julie was just so big and bad about her what she was gonna do. Like, I'm gonna go rogue. I'm doing this. You can't tell me. Oh, I hear I can't vote Austin D. Why can't I vote Austin? Oh, because he's your number one. Oh, I thought I was your number one, but he's your number one. Oh, okay, but I can't vote him. Ah, got it. Hmm, interesting. Well, we'll see what happens. And we get all Drew, Mr. Big and Bad, talking all this tickety talkity talk. We gonna do this and we gonna do this and this what's gonna happen and we know we gonna flush this and we gonna get this and we gonna do this. And then we get to tribal where I was like, I'm waiting for the explosion to happen because all this talk at camp said something was gonna happen. That led me to believe something was about to go down. And you know what went down? Nothing. Nothing went
Absolutely
down.
nothing.
Nothing went down. And we didn't have the iconic move that we could have had. Like it could have been iconic. This would have secured Julie as a survivor legend if she would have pulled the trigger and done this move that she knew she should have done. Because how do you stand there and listen to you person who you think is your number one telling you that somebody else is their number one and you don't try to take either one of them out? Like if I'm not your number one, I'm gonna take you out. Or if I'm not your number one, I'm gonna take them out to make sure that you ain't got no other options but for me to be your number one from this point on. But you sit there with all the power in your hands to make the sole decision to get out and make Survivor history, like legend like status, make it, and you say, I'll just stick with the plan. I was so annoyed. I was like, all that talk, Mama J, all that looking at the camera, chewing on sticks, like you the Godfather, and you just like, but get her, and you stick to the obvious plan, boy.
Because we go to vote. I loved D in the confessional being like, use your damn idol, Julie. Julie, you better use that damn idol.
The one thing that I didn't understand from this, and we'll get to it, but why didn't anyone else just throw a vote? And there's so many other ways this can play out, but let's just let it go through first. There's
So we go to vote. Everybody's voting. And Jeff brings back the votes. And Julie plays her idol. And the votes are read. Julie does not count. 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 One vote left. And in that moment, the spirit, she ain't dead, but the spirit of Kelly Wentworth was not in her body in Fiji. And she felt no financial analyst, I believe, Lippin.
Yeah.
No! Now, I will say, this was not, in my opinion, this was not the best move for Julie's game. But you know whose game it was a good move for?
D.
Because the moment Julie is on the jury and Dee is sitting in Final Tribal, Dee can go, well, Julie was going to vote out Austin when she played her idol, and I convinced her not to.
And that's the confusing part too. I mean, I guess if Austin and Dee felt so confident that this was going to happen, they didn't need to do anything. If Emily knew she was the name, and I mean, I don't think Emily or Jake or Katura knew that Julie had an idol. It wasn't shown to us. But my mind says there had to have been some inkling in their mind. Why didn't anyone just throw an extra vote on anyone? Like, if Austin and Dee weren't confident, even just a moment, they throw an extra vote onto Emily. They throw an extra vote onto Jake. They throw an extra vote onto Katura. Just guarantee that there's at least one other name that can be pulled out.
Mm-hmm.
But no, they had full trust in Julie, and it worked. It worked, but
and here's my thing. Austin felt so comfortable, he didn't even feel like he didn't even need to use his idol. What happened to if Julie used hers, I'm going to use mine? So that just lets me further believe before tribal, Julie was like, no, I'm not going to vote for Austin. They talked about it. Something had to have happened. We ain't seen it. They talked about it because he felt so comfortable that he didn't even feel the need to use his idol, even though early in the day, Julie had said she was going after him.
And we lose Emily.
I'm very upset. I just gave her my stand card.
I know.
I literally just gave it to her last week because I was like, I enjoyed the game she's playing now, and I literally just gave it to her last week. Now I have it just sitting right back in, and it's not going anywhere. I'm not giving it to anybody else.
I'm giving mine to somebody else.
Right now. I'm not.
I mean, we didn't even know for sure that Julie still had that idol. We thought maybe it was given back to Austin. Like,
no, because I thought she said at the top of the episode she still had the idol.
Yeah, no, Austin said it too.
Yeah, but like before this point, I thought Austin just had both idols, and I could have sworn that graphic was shown at some point. It's like, yeah, no. So this whole time, Julie's actually been holding on to that.
Yeah,
surprise.
I was aware of that,
and never got it back.
Because he didn't want to ask her for it back, and she didn't want to give it back. And I'm
because he literally says that in this episode. He's like, it would be awkward for me to ask Julie for her idol back because then that would make her think that she's a target.
But it's not her idol. So I'm like, I'm asking for my idol back that I let you hold on to.
Because of the split tribe situation. Yeah.
But now that that's no longer an option, give me my idol back.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean you couldn't ask for that back? What? I don't know. Weird.
I mean, at this point, I'll be honest. The only people that I actively want to win are Dee and Katura.
Yeah, I'm on the similar plane, but I do have 170 riding on Drew winning, so I'll also take that. Yeah, I know it's unlikely at this point. I honestly think Drew goes out next episode, realistically. But yeah, it gets bad.
Honestly, I don't think Drew's going out next episode because Drew has an advantage where he's just going to walk out of tribal council next episode, so he's not going anywhere. He's not going nowhere. He's just walking out of tribal because this is the last week he can use it. And so if he doesn't win immunity, or even if he does win immunity, he go give it to Austin or Dee. He'll give it to Dee. Austin has his idol, and he's walking out of tribal. Even though they vote out Julie. And then they vote out Julie.
Which I think is going to happen next.
Which could happen. Yeah. Yeah.
We shall see. We've got, I think, 2 more episodes.
2 more, yeah. And then that's season.
We have 3 CBS finales in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Because Amazing Race is next week, and then the week after we have Survivor on Wednesday and Reindeer Games on Friday.
Don't we just love
Just-
wrapping things up?
I do, actually. I really do.
Oh my
too.
god. And then we have Christmas off, I guess.
I guess.
We do it all over again in February.
I
And-
know.
The best part of all of this is, yeah, we might have the Cup TV off in terms of CBS trifecta, but yeah, we have a couple other things going on that
It
are
never
directly
stops.
starting up.
Oh, it never stops. Oh, no,
it
we don't
never
ever
stops.
stop.
At this point, we're just in hell. This is hell, and we're keep going.
Yeah, it never stops.
Woo. Well, because also, come the new year, we have Traders UK starting pretty immediately.
Mhm.
So,
And Drag Race US 16.
I don't even
Yeah.
want to go through the sheer number of shows that we have starting in January because then I'll cry again. So with that being said, thank you for joining us for this episode of Survivor Coverage. We'll be back next week to talk about the penultimate episode of Survivor 45. In the meantime, make sure to subscribe because we're here almost all the time, giving you almost everything reality TV. Make sure to follow our socials at The Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You could also go follow the three of us on social media, and you could go get your merch, including but not limited to Cup mug. And with all that being said, bye. Cheers.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
Click
Bye-bye.
on one of our other videos.
There might be other videos here. Ooh.